Okay, hello and welcome to my makeup tutorial. I'm Maggie. You may know me from Twitter if you're watching this, or maybe not at all. But yeah, so I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm honestly just doing this for fun. And yeah, so the first thing you wanna do is skin prep. Most important thing, honestly. And so actually there's two things I do. So I do skin prep and I just wash my face and I put on the Cosrx Mucin Essence for extra hydration, and then I put on the CeraVe moisturizer. And I'll do primer before I do my actual base. But I also brush my teeth before I do any makeup ever, which is really weird, I think, to people. But it's because I exfoliate my lips every time I brush my teeth. I brush my lips, and it makes them that much more hydrated. And I don't know, because then whenever I go to put my lipstick on later, my lips won't be chapped at all, and I'll have smooth, I don't know, that's something I always do, and I don't feel right if I don't do it. So yeah, those are the two things I do first. And now I'm gonna do my eyebrows, so let me get into that. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that I don't know how much of this I'm actually gonna be able to film, what I'm actually doing, but I'm gonna still go through it. So for my brows, I use this. I have a brand new one that I haven't taken out of the box yet because I was saving it for this. Actually, no, I just got it yesterday. But yeah, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade medium brown. And you know what? I went to Sephora to buy this the other day, and it was $25, and I swear it's usually $22. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, got a brand new one, and I'll just go directly under both my brows, and I bring it front a little too because I think it looks better. And then I'll fill them in. But yeah, draw a line under, and then, I don't know, I'll try and show it, but yeah. Okay, so you can see the first thing I did there, I drew a line, along the shape of my brow. And now I'm gonna go fill it in and, brush it up to soften it, do a little on the top to, make it better. But yeah, that's how I would do that, and I will come back after that one's done. Okay, so as you can see, that is the brow before fixing it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a clear brow gel. I use the Glossier Boy Brow Clear. But you can, I've been using this for years. I probably have 10 empty bottles of them sitting around in random places. But you can use any of them. I've heard the NYX one's really good. That kind of goes for most of the products I'm going to be using. I've been doing makeup since I was 13 and I'm 18 now. And when I say doing makeup, intensely doing makeup. So basically every product I'm going to use is going to be high-end or luxury and expensive, but in reality products are not going to be that different. So yeah, that's my little disclaimer on that. But now I'm just going to brush it up and then brush it back down just to set it there. It's not going to really make a difference. Okay, I did that. It looks exactly the same. And now I'm going to conceal only under. I don't do it over anymore because it looks like too much, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to take the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Swan, and I'm going to put it on a flat brush. I'll show it in a second, it's here somewhere. And just go under with a line and then blend it with a little beauty blender. And yeah, this is the brush I'm using. It's dual-ended, yeah. Okay, so there's that, and I just used this teeny little beauty blender to do that. And I do wet my beauty blenders fully all the way, squeeze the water out, and then dry them off type of thing. If they're not like that, it will not work for me. But yeah, so now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then I will be back. Okay, that took way longer than it should have, but I am back with both my brows done. Now I'm going to move on to the base. So I'm going to start off by priming. I might put on more moisturizer before I prime. But I use the e.l.f. Hydro Grip, I think it's Hydro Grip, primer, and I use the pink one with the niacinamide on it. I'll show it in just a second, but yeah. Okay, so I use this primer, which is the Power Grip primer with 4% niacinamide. So I'm just gonna go straight in with a skin tint. I don't use foundation anymore. I use the Rare Beauty skin tint, and then I just like to use concealer to make up for it. But yeah, I'm gonna apply that all over my face, and I'll show that in just a second. This is what it looks like after I just applied this product. I'm gonna blend that out really quick with a damp beauty blender. Okay, so this is what that looks like all blended out. As you can tell, it's pretty sheer. It doesn't really give me much coverage, but it's nice as a base. And I love it. It has sun protection in it. It doesn't cause makeup to separate or anything over it. I recommend this product. But yeah, it gets in my lips too, but we'll fix that later. Now I'm gonna go in with concealer. I use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I have two different shades, this and then the shade Cream Puff, and I'll kind of mix those. And I'll show you how I apply that in just a second. Okay, so as you can see, that is a lot of concealer. That's how I like to do it. I'm gonna use a small beauty blender for under my eyes, and then the same one I use for my skin tint for the rest of the face. And I'm gonna come back after I do that. Okay, so I blend out this side, mostly. Now I'm gonna do this side. Okay, so there's that. Probably looks a little ridiculous, but it does the job, and you don't want to set anything yet. Oh, so sorry, it's still on my lips. I don't bother to take that off until the end. But anyways, you don't want to set anything yet. I'm going to go on with my cream products now. So I have my cream bronzer and my cream blush. Both are Rare Beauty. So I will show that in just a second. Okay, so you can see I already kind of was putting some on. But this is the Rare Beauty cream bronzer stick in the shade Happy Soul. And this stuff is like honestly the best Rare Beauty product. It blends on like an absolute dream. It is so good. But yeah, I'd go on generously with this. Like it's gonna look normal when you blend it out. But yeah, these are the places that I put it. It's kind of hard to do it on camera. I only go right there on my, oh, that's too much, but whatever. I like to go there on my nose. Yeah, that is the way I would do that. And I'm gonna blend it out really quick with a large beauty blender. So there's that, and you can see it just blends in very easily. Now I'm going to be taking the blush in the shade Happy, best stuff ever. I just put it on about like this, and then I blend it in with that same beauty blender, and then I will be back. Okay, and there's the blush, and I know I still look a little ridiculous, but we're slowly going to work on that. So next is when we set. I use the One Size translucent powder. I just got this, so I don't really know my consensus on it yet. I've only used it once, and that was with a concealer that isn't good, so I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm first gonna take my beauty blender and make sure there's no creases under my eyes, anything like that, before I set it, and I use like a triangular powder puff to do it, so I will show that in a second. Okay, now have I wiped off the excess yet? No, but this is the difference with this side of my face being set with the powder and this side not being yet. Obviously, there's a difference. But yeah, gonna go in with the other side and then wipe off the excess, and then I'll be back. Okay, now my whole face is mattified. I will say, I don't know if I am like happy I bought this powder. It's good. It's no better than like the Beauty Bakery one, which is a lot less expensive. Or just using a pressed powder, which is like what's kind of become my best friend lately. I don't know. It'll be nice for baking and stuff, but I think I might just go back to using the pressed powder. But yeah, either way, I'm going to go into my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder in the lightest shade and kind of go over that. It's not going to make a difference, but yeah, and then I'll be back. Okay, so went back in with the pressed powder. Where is it? So I can show. Oops. Went back in with the pressed powder. Here it is. It's the shade 1. But yeah, I don't think I like the One Size powder, which makes me sad because it was very expensive and everybody seems to love it so much. Now I'm going to go in with my bronzer, and I have a couple different ones I use. I'm going to go in with the Dior Forever today, and I will show that. Okay, this is the Dior Forever bronzer. I've had this forever, like a year and a half. This is the shade Amber Bronze. I've had this almost 2 years, and it hasn't even hit pan yet. I will say I have a shade that's a little too dark for me. And that can make it harder to apply, but it's a really good product and it's very smooth, and I just use this really old brush that I think applies it the best. So yeah, I'm gonna put it on like actually I can probably do this on camera. My cheekbones, highest points emphasized, but I kind of go, it's bronzer, not contour, so I'll kind of go all over. This one I do have to be more careful with because it's more pigmented than my other ones. But yeah, got a big forehead, so make sure to do it on the forehead. Yeah. Anyways, I should talk about like the socio-economic state of the world or something. I don't know. No, in all actuality, I have the weirdest relationship with makeup at this point in my life because in the past few months I've kind of been getting into more like real feminist like ideologies other than like your typical white liberal feminist that you see on Instagram infographics and people's stories and stuff like that. Getting into like the actual stuff and like radical feminism, intersectional feminism, stuff like that. And when you do that, you realize, and your eyes are kind of open to the fact that makeup is, I mean, like, you kind of know it deep down anyways. Makeup is like inherently, like, the whole point of it is to make you conform to beauty standards. And like, I know that there's the whole argument that, oh, I'm doing it for me, and like, yeah, you can enjoy doing makeup. I absolutely do enjoy doing makeup. I always have. But like, there's still, like, ultimately you're doing it to look pretty. Like, for the most part, there are exceptions to that. But for the most part, you're doing it to look pretty. And so it's kind of confusing because, like, I, as someone who is starting to identify as like a radical feminist, it's like hard to do that while also knowing that, like, I still am not going to give up makeup or anything because I love it, but like, it's inherently oppressive, you know? Anyways, I'm gonna move on to blush. Okay, blush, I'm using the Chanel blush in the shade 72 Rose Initial. This stuff is good, but I have another blush that I go on with over it. And I have this old brush from Ulta that it's the best thing I've ever got for blush, and I don't even know how long I've had it, but yeah. And I put on a lot of blush. Like, I'm gonna be so honest with you, I put on a lot of blush. And I love it. It brings the whole look together for me. But yeah, I do focus on like the high points first. But I drag it everywhere else too. I don't like try and look like Bella Hadid. I just like blush. I put it up here. I'll put a little on my forehead towards the end. Yeah, but this is not the main blush that I'm gonna use. So I will show that in a second. I'm gonna go on over my nose. But yeah, so the next, and it smells really good. But the real blush that I'm about to use is really good. So this is this cheap, like, garbage makeup palette I have from Marshall's. Sleeping Beauty by Revolution. It's actually very camp, if I would say so. It has blush and highlighter shades and then eyeshadow shades, which the eyeshadows really aren't that great. The shimmer does, the shimmer's fine. But the blushes are so good, and so is the, like, highlighter. So I like to take my blush brush and dip it into this shade and this shade. I don't really like that one. Wipe off the excess because there is going to be a lot. It's so pigmented. Then you go in and it's just like, it's like silk. Like, it is so, it's like, it's just, it looks very nice and it's very pigmented, and I don't know why. I just love it. And I'm like, what happens if I run out of this stuff and I have to buy another random Sleeping Beauty palette? Like, where would I even find this? I don't know. But yeah, love this stuff. It is better than the Chanel blush, which is crazy considering that was $40. But yeah, going in on this side as well. Yeah, this is not looking that good, by the way, but I swear I just like it, and I like blend it all the way up here. I'll put some on my forehead. But yeah, I'm gonna fix this up in the mirror and then I'll be back. I went off camera to put my bake on. Look like an absolute psychopath. I do think that powder is gonna be good for baking. I just think that maybe I should have stuck with the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder for the like actual setting process, because it just doesn't look great. It probably isn't very noticeable on camera, but I definitely don't like it very much. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of go and touch up bronzer and blush and like stuff before I start the eyes. But yeah. Okay, so it's time to move into eyes, and this can get very intense and it's kind of different every day. So I'm gonna go in with this Physicians Formula bronzer because it's a little lighter, less scary to work with. And I'm literally gonna take the big brush and go straight in on my lid. Or like my crease, and like, it's not gonna make too much of a difference, but it will give some definition. And then I'm gonna go with the same thing and a smaller brush under my like lashes, like under my eye, and then I will be back. Okay, as you can see, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but it's there. I'm now gonna wipe off my bake with a clean brush, and then I'll be back to do some like shimmer before I start my eyeliner. Okay, bake wiped off. I'm now going to take that same Sleeping Beauty palette and go in with the highlighter shade that's white, because I don't really like the eyeshadow shade. Literally gonna dip my finger in it, go straight on my lid, and blend it all the way in. And I think that's how it looks the best, and it's gonna open my eye up and stuff like that. It's very bright. You could also do this with like another bright white highlighter, like the Ofra X Nikki Tutorials one. I have that. It's similar to this. This is easier for me to reach for. But yeah, I just generously go in with that, and I'm gonna see how that looks really quick. So I'm now gonna go in with a single shadow, and so I'm using the Urban Decay Moon Dust in the shade Space Cowboy, which basically everyone seems to have now, and just go in there, and this is just like a topper, and put it all over the eye. And this stuff is good because it's just a shimmer, and it's really pretty and natural looking as far as like a shimmer would go, and it just gives you almost like a wet type look that you're probably not gonna be able to see on here because it just doesn't look good. But yeah, now to start the eyeliner, which is where it gets a little scary. Okay, don't know how this is gonna go today, but my favorite eyeliner in the world, and what I'm gonna be using today, the Stila Stay All Day Dual-Ended Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. This is the best stuff in the world. It is expensive. It's $32. This is my second one that I bought. It's amazing. It has this really precise and then it has a like bigger end for like a wing, and it's waterproof, but it's easy to take off. It is not crusty. It is very solid black. It is amazing. It is easy to work with. It is the best thing ever. But yeah, so basically I'm gonna start on this eye, and I'm going to take the small end, and I'm gonna have to do this on camera, but I'm gonna go over my whole eyelid, but not go in the inner corner because I don't like how it looks on my eyes personally. But yeah, so I'm gonna show you after I do that. Okay, that is how my eye looks after lining just over the lid. Luckily it went pretty smoothly today. I did have to clean it up a little bit with a concealer brush, but yeah, overall that only took like a couple minutes. So now the wing can be very confusing to know where to start. I go like all the way over my lid. You can see there's a little dot there, but oh well. All the way over into the end, because that makes it easier for me to start with this. Now, eyeliner is all about your eye shape. For me, I have found over the years that what best suits me is to go either straight out or a little bit downturned. So I'm gonna do straight out. And like I'm gonna start, like I kind of like hold it like this, and I'll draw from there. And I'll show you what it looks like after I make the first line. That's what that's looking like. Now I'm gonna go under, connect it on the top, and then just kind of go fill it in however I want and show you what it looks like after that. Okay, after fixing it up a little, this is where we're at. It's definitely not perfect. It never is. This is actually a little smaller than I would usually go, but I don't think I'm gonna do lashes today. So I think this is how I prefer it. But yeah, I kind of just mess with it however I want. It's hard to explain, like I really don't know how to explain it, but I'm gonna go do it with the other eye now. Okay, not gonna lie, this one came out a little bit atrocious, but it's fine. I'm gonna take this off after I do it, and yeah. Now I'm gonna take mascara. I'm gonna use the Ilia Limitless Lash, which I also just got. I also don't really have a full review of it yet, but I'm gonna put that on both eyes and be back. Okay, so the mascara is nice. I don't really perfectly know how I feel about it either. I usually wear lashes, so that makes it a little harder to tell. I don't think I'm gonna put lashes on today, but I do usually. It's just lately I've been stopping with that. But so I'm gonna show the ones I use. So they're half lashes. They look very natural when they're on. They only go in the outer corner of your eye. And if you go on Amazon and search up half lashes, these will be the first to come up. They're about $8. They're very affordable. It comes with like all of these. Obviously I just used most of them, but yeah, would definitely recommend. And now I'm going to wipe all the makeup off my lips genuinely and then get started on the lips. So I just filmed this whole lip lining process and realized I never pressed film. So I'm using the NYX Professional Makeup Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Whipped Caviar. Best stuff ever, better than anything high-end that I found, including Charlotte Tilbury and MAC. But yeah, I used this random Charlotte Tilbury pencil sharpener to sharpen it. I overlined a little bit and my lips are kind of weird and I think I have like the double lip line thing, so it's hard to know. I go over my Cupid's bow just because I like how it looks rounded. Go all around, you can see the line. I'm gonna go fix it up really quick and then be back for lipstick. Okay, so that's that. I'm now gonna go in with a little more blush to kind of even it out, and then I will show you what I do for highlighter, and then we're gonna be done. Highlighter, so I showed you that flat brush I've been using for concealer, and on the other end, so this is the side I use for concealer, and this end, I like to use this to do my nose highlight. So I will dip it in this very white, bright shade, and literally go into my nose, draw a line. Like, I just straight up draw a line, and then, like, maybe I'll fix it up a little bit. But, yeah, that's how I like it. I don't really do it much anywhere else. I'll put, like, a little in my inner corners. I don't like too much in the inner corners. Like, a little. It's not gonna really show up that much. But, yeah. And then, for my cheeks, I will take a fan type brush, and I have this old one. I don't know, I like older makeup brushes. I just washed them a lot. I have this Dior palette, and I'm not the biggest fan of this. It's good. It wasn't worth the money. I don't use these two shades at all, but I just go straight in here, get it all over the brush. It's easier if you put setting spray on it first, but I just don't feel like it right now. And then I just go straight in, and it's kind of natural looking. It's not like a stripe. But yeah, that's that. Now I'm going to kind of mess my hair up and stuff, and then I'll be back to show off the look, I guess. Okay, so I did go ahead and put on some lashes, mostly to show the difference of if you put on like falsies or not. So, yeah, that's the difference. And here's like the finished look. And all that stuff. I'll put it in a different lighting really quick. Okay, here it is in the light. Yeah, I don't know. That's just like personal preference if you choose to have lashes on or not. But anyways, if you don't already follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at trumanslack. I don't know if I'm going to post a video again. This is just for fun. But drop a like anyways.